It's not about how you start, it's all about how you finish. When we are born into this world, we aren't given a guide or the right path to take in our lives. We don't even know that those that were designated to care for us didn't have a handbook. We expect everything to be perfect. They teach us how to speak, how to walk. We mimic the things that are around us. And once we have learned all the basics, then they send us out into the world to expand our knowledge and understand the more ways of life. And at some point, we may forget our teachings from the home, or maybe we want to redesign some of them, so we do our own thing, our own way. Maybe we aren't even given enough, so then we go through life freestyling it, making mistakes along the way, some we learn from, some we can't even come back from, and some we hide from. My story is at the age of 9. My mother, I was the only child, and she went into an abusive relationship. And I used to wonder, like, why is she going through this? Why are we here? I didn't understand any of it. It was like a big change for me because through those beginning years, everything was just love, peace, and hair grease. So why are we here now? But also at the age of 12, I was molested by a family member. I couldn't understand that. I was like, what is going on here? Like, why is life handing me all these things? It's just a lot of things that I didn't understand. But I knew one thing that I said to myself is, when I get older, I'm not going to go through this. I'm not going to live these ways that I've seen, that I was introduced to. I'm going to make a change. What happens? I think I meet my knight in shining armor, right? Running away from one abuse to another abuse, hiding that I was pregnant by someone who raped me, and I was pregnant. And so I ran with this man because he said that he would take care of me. He would protect me, not knowing that he was a narcissist and an abuser. So now I stay in that marriage for 17 years. Total of 17, married for 12, and I just extended out the other ones because the other years because I was going into the military. But at one point I said to myself, this is just the way my life is supposed to be. This is the way every time I turn around, there's always something or someone abusing me, hurting me. Maybe this is the way life is supposed to be. I gave up on myself so many times. I thought about suicide so many times. I thought about homicide to get out of my situation. But then where would that have left my children? So I said, I'm going to join the military, thinking that that was another way out. It wasn't. It was another experience of trauma. And I'm like, oh my God. Then I get there and I was like, look, there's no way out. At this point, I gave up. I've lost so many people in my life, nieces, nephews. I'm not saving anybody. Nothing that none of my life is my control. And then I got to the breaking point where I knew I couldn't do this life no more myself. So I went to a trauma clinic, and they always want you to face your trauma, face your fears, and I never wanted to do that. I wore a mask for so many years, and I was comfortable in that mask. I was comfortable wearing it because it hid all the things that I've been through, because I felt on the inside that most of the things that I learned and went through were my fault, not knowing that it wasn't. It wasn't my fault. All I had to do was trust and believe that I could make a better way and stop blaming those before me. Well, stop blaming my parents. Stop blaming my parents for the things that happened to me and go ahead and push through this life. And once I realized where all my trauma and all the things that I have been through, where it came from, then I started to see a new way forward, a new way forward. So I'm here to tell you, it's not where you started. It's where you finish. And I'm not even finished yet. So I encourage you today. I encourage you to not look where it started from, how things are being going. I encourage you and challenge you and empower you to look where you're going Look where you're going. Look deep in yourself. Face those traumas. Face those fears. Face that doubt and look forward. Burn, break, and become a successful you. It's not about where you started. It's all about where you're going and where you're going to finish. Thank you for joining me and listening to this encouraging message. Follow me on YouTube at B3U. You can listen to the podcast at B3U, where I will be interviewing women, men who have the same, or maybe some of the same traumas or experiences to possibly bring you through your own. But I want to challenge you to keep going. See you soon.